allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Teresa, please call the roll.
Okay, Mayor Jones.
Here.
Horn.
Here.
Kill.
Here.
Bowen.
Here.
Mattson. Here. Jazz.
Yes.
And Barons is absent with notice.
All right, do we have any additions or approval of the agenda for tonight's meeting?
I'll second.
Any discussion? If not, we'll vote. Mattson. Bowen.
Yes.
Horn.
Yes.
Keel.
Yes.
Jazz.
Yes.
All right, how about approval of the minutes from the 10-1 meeting?
Motion to approve.
And that should be 10:15.
Oh.
That's a typo on me, yep.
You were thinking it was the only meeting I was at in October, that's why.
Yeah, I just think, no, it should be 10:15. That's the minutes you have in your packet.
10-15 minutes.
Make a motion to approve, or did you already?
I made a motion.
I'll second it.
All right, any
That's distracting
discussion?
between them.
Other than fixing the agenda to the 15th, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
We'll vote. Jazz.
Yes.
Keel.
Yes.
Horn.
Yes.
Bowen.
Yep.
Mattson.
Yes.
All right, any bills?
No bills.
Karen? Public comment? Looks like that we can kind of skip over. We're past, we're not up to 7:05 yet. 7:01, man, I'm going too fast. We better slow
You
down.
gotta slow her down, Mayor.
Let's have Deputy Cardis give his report. How's that?
Yes, sir.
That way you won't vote. Oh wait, it's closed.
Closed, already did. So yeah, October, also a typo in my report, I got September 2024, I did say October, as I look at that. Really not much to talk about except for, again, frauds. Can't really get into the nuances of it, but in my newsletter that I wrote for the city, just want to kind of highlight, as we get into this holiday season, hopefully the public's listening, this is when scammers really get after people. And it's not just the elderly that are vulnerable to it, it's everybody. They get either convinced that they're talking to the FBI to help them with their Facebook accounts or Gmail accounts or their Robinhood accounts or anything and everything. So just be very wary that you are not giving sensitive information to people that you don't know and to phone numbers that you don't know. And one big clue is that any of these big institutions, everywhere from the banks to the FBI, will never ask for money to help you out. That is the big clue. That should be a big red flag. So for business owners that are in the Hartford area, just if you see customers coming in constantly buying gift cards, like every day or every other day, that should be a red flag. Maybe stop and ask them, hey, you might be falling victim to a scam, or if you don't feel comfortable confronting them and saying that, give us a call. We'll be happy to field that call and try to help people out where they're not out tens of thousands of dollars. So, and the Attorney General's office has Consumer Protection Services. They help out on these scams. They just take the reports or whatever, but they can help educate. The Attorney General is going to be sending something out here really soon, which I'll try to share on Hartford Happenings, of tips when we get into this holiday season, not to fall victim to these scammers, because they are going to take everything, all your money from your account. So, but yeah, that's the really only big thing to report. A lot of traffic stops over here in October were really good, so big push there. And one thing I do want to note, when you do see our numbers here, I always put in like how many days I pulled a report. So when I pull this report, this is the 31 days have complete. Sometimes you'll see 25 or 27. That's because that's when I pulled the report from the month. So we're still seeing about almost at 8 calls of service per day. So we're still pretty busy. So it's going really good.
What are ESSA landlines?
Just, yeah, people will just call in,
Okay.
asking questions about everything and anything.
Okay.
From gun laws to trespassers.
Oh, Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, Sheriff's
Sheriff's
Office.
Okay, that's what it is. I was thinking the citizen.
No, not like
Okay,
a sex
gotcha.
offender. But yeah, Anything else?
To your point, Deputy, about the scam, it's probably been 8 years ago, but it was, the Parade of Lights downtown. And we're busy, and I get this call from Wells Fargo, and, you know, I'm just getting the family parked, and we're getting hustled down there, and I'm, you know, long story short, just not thinking clearly, and, that code pops up, and I rattle it off, and the next thing I know, I see I'm locked out of my account, and then there's $2 gone, and then there's $250 gone, and there's $2,500 gone. We got to stop, we got it all reversed, but just caught me at the a time where I wasn't fully focused on what I was doing.
Right,
And,
exactly.
it happens really quickly.
And they sound real good too. They sound like the
Yeah.
real deal.
Yep, the number came up as a Wells Fargo number.
Yeah. Yep, they'll do that. They'll kind of, I don't know what the term is, but yeah, they'll clone it. Yeah, clone it, yeah.
Yep.
So,
Cool. Do we meet 7:06, boom.
Okay, yeah, thanks for stretching us past the public hearing thing. All right, thank you, Deputy. All right, our hearings, resolutions, agreements, ordinances this is the time of the year when we approve all of the liquor licenses. They are in your packet. Everyone has paid their fees. Everyone is without incident, is that correct? And what they're applying for is all listed, and I think typically we just approve this in one fell swoop, right?
Yeah, normally with,
Can we do that with Jake? Do we have to break?
As long as we have 4 others to vote, even if,
In the past, I have not had to abstain because it's a group
yeah.
thing. I will gladly
No, I was
abstain
just-
if anybody has an objection.
we'll see how it goes here. Motion to approve the liquor license renewals as presented.
Second. Any discussion?
Any known issues or violations or things
no,
that
except
are?
we haven't got any notes of any violations this past year from any of them.
Thank you.
Anything else? Hearing none, we'll vote. Mattson,
Yes.
Bowen,
Yes.
Horn,
Yes.
Keel.
Yes.
Jazz.
Yes.
All right.
Mayor, can I add one thing? I meant to do this in public. On our city website, it says that all city elections take place at the city hall, which I think they take place at the senior center. Just quick note.
Do you know where that ever happened? Cause I thought we got all that
No,
changed.
it's on the,
Oh, Jenny. okay.
yeah, just a quick
Okay.
note. Sorry, guys, it was on top of my mind. Wanted to bring it back with, so.
Shoot.
Is this on your flip phone? Is this on your flip phone?
Nope, I'm on the website right here. If you go up to the search bar and type in the
I'm
election,
just kidding.
Where's it take you to? Do you say a
it
page?
takes you to how do I register to vote, and then, polling places.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Don't have ours get that changed.
All right, thank you, Sean.
Yep.
All right, we'll move down to the Economic Development Director's Report, Amy Farr.
My information's in the packet here. I have 2 updates real quick though. I had an email from Aaron Ward stating that the Department of Agriculture and Natural Resources will be reaching out to me shortly to schedule a meeting to discuss the wetland situation that we had of non-compliance. And then also received as of this morning, documentation from IMEG pertaining to the Kidweiler wetlands. And she stated that it's probably gonna go down as go down in history as the project that took the longest to receive an AGD. So we do have that now. Prior to us submitting, in the past, there was 4 wetlands. This time they came back with 2 due to the drain tile that was completed prior to the HADF purchasing the land. And 1 is jurisdictional, 1 is non-jurisdictional.
So we do have everything we need now to move forward with that?
Correct.
Okay. Good to know.
Amy, your notes indicate that there was a strategic planning session on Wednesday, October 30th.
Yep.
Is that information available for the city council?
It can be once I put it together. I'm taking all the information right now and compiling it from what was decided and how to move forward with the strategic plan. So as soon as I get that ready, I can certainly get it to you.
So you worked Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and haven't had a chance to put anything together for us?
Nope, I was waiting for a Zoom call yesterday to make sure I knew how to compile it correctly. Through Dakota Resources. They were helping me.
Okay. Very good, thank you.
All right, anything
just next, it'd be the approval to attend the National Rural Economic Developers Association Conference next week.
I mean, am I reading, there's one in April as well?
I am not sure, possibly. This is the one that Brandon Lane suggested I attend, because it's in Omaha, much closer to home, he said.
I guess the staff report indicates there's one.
The staff reporting is wrong again.
Okay, I'm looking at the paperwork here,
Cut
so.
and paste, and there's a, it looks like I had that from last time. she
Oh, over
went.
here, sorry, okay.
No, it is November 13th through November 15th.
Not Tuesday, April 30th through,
No, I must not have deleted that out. Yep.
do I have to get my scorecard back out?
You might need to. I was very busy last Friday. We were training on, there's a lot of,
So I've got and I've kind of debated on these, and there's a lot of conferences. I'm trying to articulate this question, just because there's so many conferences, and I know that when I was working for a company, I would go to every conference I can, but I guess, here's my, like, what are we actually gaining as a city out of these conferences? You know, I know a lot of people go to conferences, but at what point, I'm just kind of curious, like, what are we trying to accomplish with this? It's great to go there, and like the marketing of it is great, but like, what is actually applicable from learning from these things? I really don't know. I know we go to conferences, we do things, but like, what is actually being applied, right, in the daily function, what taxpayers are getting back? That's what I'm kind of, so it's more of an open question,
Yeah,
just because
It's a good question, because I don't know that you've ever sent anyone to this conference before. I mean, their logo is very similar to the HADF logo, so this would be a good place to
No,
start.
not anymore.
the coloring.
Oh, I don't have it in color. Okay, see now.
no, this is the first time, this conference, and I think you talked it over with the HADF board, and I think they
Well, actually, they're
recommended
the
you
ones that
attending.
brought it
right?
to my
Yeah, I think
attention,
they
Brandon
recommend-
Lane. Mhm.
Okay.
Why do you wanna go?
I thought there was some really good breakout sessions in quite a few different things, like the defensive leadership, the other side of leadership. I think doing a tour of the poultry farm would be interesting to see how that is taken care of, or the poultry opportunity there. What else did I circle?
It's a big cluck.
Robots are coming, automation, because automation is coming, what was that?
It's a big clucking
It's a
deal.
bad
Oh,
dad joke.
nice, I got you. But robots, you know, with automation and how it's impacting the different, manufacturing organizations and stuff, and then matrix that matter. Just different things that could potentially be something we could apply to the HADF at some point. And then, of course, the biggest thing is networking, connecting with, different people with, different industry opportunities that share their experiences of what has happened, what hasn't, what works, what doesn't work. So networking, I guess, would be another valuable opportunity.
So you mentioned the poultry tour, so it's like, what do you call that?
Value added.
Value-added egg.
Value-added egg is a focus of the HADF.
I'm not sure, but I would be interested to learn more about it. Because it has come up quite a few times in our meetings, even from day one when I started.
Any other questions, or do we have any action from the council on this request?
I've been trying to get to a place where I can read what I'm supposed to say when I make a motion here. I make a motion to approve attendance to the NREDA conference.
Do we have a second?
For Amy.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Jazz?
Yes.
Keel?
No.
Horn?
Yes.
Bowen?
No.
Mattson?
Yes.
So 3-2, that means no. All right. chamber report is in the packet, correct?
Moving too
Like
fast.
Trunk or Treat was a big success. Was anybody there?
Did you dive to it this year? No.
I saw pictures on Facebook. That's about it though.
I was not there. Last year they had me busy, I was not there.
Look at that, we got an award winner in our presence.
Yep.
We do have
Nice
an
work.
award.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't me.
Gardis was the,
Best in
He was,
best in trunk?
Yeah, whatever that means.
Well,
You were dressed up the best.
candy or
I don't know.
I won't comment because I don't wanna have HR on me, but, I know, you know.
I was one of the judges and it was due to your costumes and having the whole family
Were
involved.
you Woody?
I was Woody.
Yep.
Yeah.
I seen the pictures. So.
Bo Peep was there, and Jesse, and Gruff, one of the sheep.
There you go.
Love it.
That's awesome.
All right. Anything else on that, or can we move forward to the most exciting part of the evening? City engineer report.
Michael's not even here to give it to you.
I know
He
it.
likes to give that little chuckle.
But you have a new
Let
guy.
the new guy
You
go
got a new guy.
Let Drew go ahead.
I told Drew he didn't have to speak tonight, so. But I do have a sidekick with me, Drew Down. He's a civil engineer with us. Young engineer looking to get some experience in city council meetings. I thought tonight would be a great time to bring him here, so. Yeah, see if you grill me, you know, be nice. Engineers report is in your guys' packet. We'll just give a couple highlights, then we do have a couple approval items here. So, in the general update, expanded on that a little bit more for you guys, give you a little bit more context on what we're working on there. So 1051 Route Trail, construction is nearly complete with utilities working on developers agreement that we'll have on there. And some of those utility upsizing, we'll get that finalized and get it to council for approval. Oakley Street, Maple Pass, if you guys drove by there, you saw a bunch of those utilities going in, they have all the sanitary sewer in there, so they're trucking along. Same thing there, we've been out there doing regular inspections, making sure we're documenting and providing those reports to Teresa for documentation. School edition, there's some comments in Craig's reports, I won't steal all the thunder there, but just continuing to work with them to get that wrapped up and paved. It's still anticipated to be paved this year, so. Blue Tide, there's some work in there just on the connections for the public utilities to get out the street. We will get that patched up here this fall as well, get that back open. Site plans and plats, they're just continually reviewed as they have been received, so. Rolling into our big one, there's a pretty hefty pay request for this one, wastewater treatment facility. Pay request goes hand in hand with the work that's been done, so they got a lot done this year. Their goal is to have, call it all the equipment to do underground work off-site this fall. So they nearly have everything in underground. Their biggest goal right now is getting the operations building sealed up. Have all of our heaters in there, that way we can do all the work indoors this winter and have it climate controlled. So making a lot of good progress on there. Just one thing to note, and we can dive into this a little bit more with the pay applications. If we recall, there was one bid package that was not bid yet, bid package number 20, and that was for the tie-in. We did have a plug number in there for estimated cost at $80,000. If I were a betting man, I'll say that will go underneath. So maybe document that. But next council meeting, we should have the results on that. What that will do, once we get that number, just put that number into contingency if there's any savings on it, so.
Help me understand, if I'm a betting man, if it goes over that,
Then
they
we look at,
self-perform, race like would self-perform, right?
absolutely.
Cost is fixed.
Yep, because we have that plug number and we have a GMP. Yep,
Okay.
so absolutely correct on that.
Thank you.
So, just real quick on the schedule, still anticipating everything's going really well here. Work inside the building through the winter, get all of our operations equipment in there going, and really start up here, May, June timeframe. Get that plant running, work out any kinks if there are any, that way when October 1 comes, we're good to go, so. Highway 38 water main extension,
construction started on that, and site work's got a lot done so far, so they're starting on some of the boards. We will note some of the pay requests and change orders in there. Real quick, we did do a little design revision, so there were some efficiencies when site works went through as part of the wastewater treatment facility on Railroad. They had some of that road tore up, so we actually moved the water main out of the ditch, put it into the road, and that resulted in some cost savings because we didn't have additional gravel. So early on in the design process, we did that analysis. If it was a standalone project, that would have cost more, but we were able to leverage some of those efficiencies and save some cost. So full anticipation is to have that one wrapped up here this fall, have it all connected, tested, be able to close out, so.
You're gonna be able to get that road back to, or will they do this? Is that part of their deal?
It's in pretty good shape right now. They're leaving it closed because they got those mowers coming up.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be working right at that intersection, just don't wanna have accident happening there, so we're gonna leave it shut until they get that borer through there and they get the water line through there. But the road itself's actually in fairly good shape. It does need to be bladed and dressed up again, but
Was there a plan on that board tomorrow?
that's the plan. Get started on that one, then, the one up at Second and Colton, they're still trying to find all the lines up there. There's a ton of stuff in that ditch, so, the right of way up there, so they're trying to get everything found up there and then figure out how to approach it to get.
Half of it's been abandoned, I suppose.
Some of it has, we found some old culvert up in there and stuff like that. There's just a lot of stuff in there, cause there used to be ditches and stuff through that whole area, and then that all got filled in and some of the stuff got buried and left in place like that, so. But they were planning on moving ahead with, starting the bores tomorrow, so they're all set up, getting ready to go.
And then Western Ave is the only other project we have on our list with no update on that, so. Dive in.
I had asked Teresa about this, and she said that the state had advised that they were gonna bid the girders.
Yeah, and I did follow up today with another email
Yeah.
just to confirm. So
Yeah.
last I heard from the state, they still, for their project, the bid project, they plan to bid out the steel girders here mid-December, and then, probably next February, do the rest of the bidding. So it's their time frame. So that would be all the rest of ours, so. That, I received an email about a month ago about that, and I just confirmed with them today that's still the plan, so.
So that probably won't happen until later next year, right? That's gonna take a while, isn't it?
For,
That whole project, when they tie in and do our share. I mean, they're not bidding until February,
I think
March.
they plan on starting this spring yet.
Okay,
But whether they
so
get
they're gonna
that
bid in
wrapped up,
February, March and start
That's the game
the
plan.
day they open the bids?
it's still a game
Kinda.
plan.
I got some.
Okay, I'll believe that one.
So
Us too.
hopefully, yeah, us too. We're
I'll
all.
believe that when I see that.
Working with the state, you just don't know for sure.
I'm not saying that bad. I hope.
What, I don't know, I think might be a good time for them to be buying steel. I think steel prices are down.
Right now, yeah.
So
That's
Well,
probably a
there's
good
just
idea.
some of the lead time on those items too, so that's for
Okay,
sure.
I- They did indicate that it takes a while, so they wanted to get the order in and get that part of it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay? What else you got?
I'll run through some of the payouts, we can get approvals on those, and then,
Okay.
we can talk the proposal and then open it up for additional questions if that works for you guys.
You bet, that's fine.
So first one we have is pay application number 13 to Rice Lake, call it in the tune of $2.5 million, for currently completed.
it's almost 2.6.
Yeah, you round up, I
That's
round
like
up.
going to coal. Your wife tells you how much money she saved.
I got this free Kohl's cash.
Coles cash, yeah. Save $30. Yeah,
And, it's a $100,000 swing.
Motion to approve pay request number 13 to Rice Lake Construction for $2,594,115.
Second.
any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Mattson?
Yes.
Bowen?
Yes.
Horn?
Yeah.
Keel?
Yes.
Jed?
Yes.
All right, second one, Justin?
The second one, we'll go with the change order first, for site works, and that is in credit of 35, I'll round that up to 36,000.
Wow.
Well played, Sam.
We're getting fuzzy
Keep you up to
engineer
that.
math there now. Fuzzy engineer math.
So,
Thank you, Councilman Small.
so like noted before, this is just a quantity changes, you know, based on putting it in the road, so we had some less culverts, restoration. We just wanted to have, you know, clean slate going forward on this change order. Typically, we do it at the end of the project, but since we know it's gonna be true, that's where we're just getting it on right now, that way we can have that revised contract amount accurate.
Make a motion to approve change order number 1.
Second. Losing my voice.
Any discussion? It's nice when we get to do them once in a while and they're doing our favor.
Good guys.
Yeah, bet. All right, no discussion, we'll vote. Jazz?
Yes.
Keel?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Bowen?
Yes.
Mattson?
Yes.
All right, what do you got next one?
Next one, I have the actual pay request number 1 for Highway 38 water main extension in the amount of $322,800. Around there for that one. Just as noted with the change order, our original contract amount was $743,000 minus that 35, that gets us at 707. So that's included in there. This work is just work completed to date. As noted previously, I would expect the bulk of this work to be done, call it through the end of this month. So,
Motion to approve pay request, number 1 to site works for $322,928.18.
Second?
Any discussion on this one? All right, hearing none, we'll vote. Mattson?
Yes.
Bowen?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Keel?
Yes.
Jazz?
Yes.
All right. That's all of those. You wanna talk about your park and rec?
yeah. So the next thing I have for you is just proposal for some parks and trails master planning. This was by request of mayor to put this together. A little bit on this though, we broke it up into different phases. So we understand there's a lot of moving parts with parks, trail master planning. And we try to tie it into the initiative on looking at our revised fee structure as part of our ordinance for developments and identifying where we're gonna need parks within the city as a future, as well as looking for a master plan for the current city parks, looking at what that could be in the future. So a little bit that phase 1 is inventory and analysis of existing conditions. If we look at those deliverables, a few of the big things on there is, you know, identifying some of our park trends, national standards, existing conditions, and opportunity summary. So that's really our full composite when we look at, especially in the future, of what we want to do with other developable land. We need to start with that base condition. Let's have that documented, let's understand what we have and what we want to achieve. And that phase 2A is building off of that existing condition, and this is what's gonna dive into our call it future parks planning. Some of the big things I'll note within this draft is the level of service standards for each park. So it's kind of breaking down into different categories of what we want to park, right? Is it a pocket park or does it have a lot of amenities? Start identifying and strategize on that. This phase 2A brings it up to a 60%. Subsequent phases will have a review process and bring it to final. That phase 2B is that mini parks plan that I talked about specifically for the city park. We included what some visuals would look like down there, but that's very much more boutique, I would say, concept that includes some visuals as well as cost estimates for future planning.
Would that one, can I stop you for 1 second?
Absolutely.
Would that one hone in on what we can do with possibly a new pool?
Yes, absolutely. So that's where it takes all these elements on a very specific level
Okay.
for that park.
Yep, okay.
And then phase 3 is really just advancing that phase 2A. So I make that comment now as we understand there's some other moving pieces. We can go forward with the phase 2A and we can hold on that phase 3 for a while if desired. It gets more input, feedback as we further develop. So those are the different phases. I'll open it up to questions if you guys need more understanding, deliverables, what you guys will get, et cetera.
So the first thing, we don't have any money in the budget for this.
correct? We did not budget for any of this.
Right.
This was
No.
something
This was-
that's
yeah.
come about since then.
Right.
And I would just go back to kind of a practice we had with our previous city engineer when it came to, here's a presentation, you know, here's, we need to spend some dollars to do this engineering. And my instinct or our standard procedure was to table it until the next meeting. That gives us some time to talk to city staff, talk amongst ourselves, kind of get a feel from the public, maybe what, you know, how passionate they are about parks and trails. So I'm just reluctant to move forward on this proposal tonight. I think it's great, and I don't, the amount doesn't scare me at all, but I'd like to know where the money's coming from. Right, and so, while the city staff recommendation is to approve it, doesn't say how we're gonna fund it. You know, it'd be an appropriation at the end of,
It's
if
gonna
not
have to come out of
2024,
reserve funds, yeah.
2025.
would be 25. You do talk about it?
It does say it comes out of reserve
Reserve
funds,
funds,
you know.
yeah.
Or did I miss that?
It's like
I'm
you,
sorry.
like you said, I mean, we did not budget.
We don't have a
We didn't budget
budget.
for in twenty-four,
Oh,
we
yeah,
didn't
it's
budget in
just
25.
Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we potentially pay a portion of it this year and then the balance of it next year, or we'd have to look at pulling funds from other budgeted items.
So this really came about the night we did our drive around prior to budgeting. We did the drive around, talked about it a little bit, but then we didn't come back and say, hey, let's throw whatever, because we didn't know what that number was.
Right.
And how this, we arrived at this is, Teresa and I had a conversation. I said, I think I'm gonna call Justin and just have him put together a proposal so we have somewhere to start
Yeah.
and something to talk about. And based on the question I asked, my deal with this whole deal is, what are we gonna do if we have to build a new pool? That's kind of my first, that's where I'm leaning this thing, because I have a feeling that's gonna be on the radar here before we want it to be on the radar. So,
Well, and I also, I'm probably one who made the comment, like, I feel like we're just adding things,
correct,
you know,
Do we
without
have
a
any
master
idea?
plan.
Yeah, correct.
And so, and I think also figuring out as we have these new developments, I love the idea of pocket parks or different,
Yeah. Yes.
things
Well, that's
in
kind of the
different
second part of it, because as you know, planning and zoning, the park board are talking about, as we grow and more developers are coming in,
Right.
developments, you know, we need to know, do they donate land to us, or, you know, cause we need a park in that area, and we need to identify that, or maybe we don't need a park in that area, and we want a monetary donation to help fund, whether, you know, it's playground equipment or whatnot. And so, as we talk about that open space contribution from developers, we've talked with ISG that, you know, that could be incorporated in this, they can help identify those areas to see, do we need a pocket park, or do we need a
full-blown.
full-blown sports complex, or a soccer complex, or do we need just a playground? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
so to look at a whole growth area too, and that will aid the Park and Rec Board and the Planning and Zoning Board as we plan for the future, like I said, more of a plan than just a winging it.
Justin, do you have another community that you could share with us where this has been done?
Yeah.
That'd be fabulous.
I'll pull some examples together too, and I think what would also be helpful, you can see some of our examples here. I can get permission from those cities to share some of those plans.
Yeah,
with
if you
Travis.
could do that, that'd be
Yeah.
great. I agree with Travis, and I wanted to get this out, at least start having the conversation,
Yeah,
because we're getting close to the end of the year, and if we're gonna do this, it'd be nice to start working.
Well, and on that same note, we do have, how much set aside for a pool right now?
100,000.
And we spent some of it.
Did we spend some of them?
There'll be some spent out of, possibly spent, I guess, out of this year
Oh,
for
for-
repairs.
Yeah.
That won't come out of that 100,000, cause that's in the Park and Rec Board's fund.
Oh,
so-
is that in their fund?
Yeah, fund. It'll just come out of the regular pool
Oh,
fund,
pool
where
fund.
the repairs will, you know.
Yeah,
Well, that sucking sound, it just keeps sucking.
Yeah.
not really.
Cool.
All right.
Some of that will be spent, the 100?
No,
No.
item base, cause that's in the Park and
Okay.
Rec Board's
Right, right,
fund
okay.
for, you guys set that aside a couple of years ago
Yeah.
for, you know, maybe a plan for,
Right.
what we wanna do for engineering some studies and whatnot, and we haven't spent
So
any
there's
of
a
that.
discussion that could be had with the Park and Rec Board, would they be willing, could we divert some of those $100,000?
Exactly, true,
I think
maybe
it's-
that's,
yeah. I don't think we need
portion
to
of
make a
it.
decision like you said tonight.
Right,
I think
right.
that's something to think about.
Questions there.
Yeah, for sure.
I definitely would like to hear Park and Rec's weigh in on this too, you know.
Yeah.
they're
Have they seen this yet? No.
No, we just
feedback
got
on
it.
necessity,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. So I think that's a good move. You wanna,
Make a motion to table this, until our next meeting.
Second.
2 seconds?
That'll be before Park and Rec meets, do you wanna?
Let's
do
go,
First
first
meeting
meeting in
in
December.
December.
First meeting in December?
So I'll amend my motion to table this until the first meeting in December.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's do
perfect.
that. That makes more sense.
Second.
Still want a second? You want a second? or
No,
Shelley?
he's the way, man.
You wanna third it?
I will, it depends if the mayor lets me go first. He always sorts at the ends, but when Travis is up there,
All right, you can't discuss tabling? We'll vote. Bowen?
yes.
Mattson?
Yes.
Orin? Yes. Keel?
Yes.
Jeff?
I got a quick question, sorry, with, like, when we're dealing with like Blue Tide and some of those private developers, are they paying for your guys' time, like, cause you guys have to verify their plans?
So as the plan reviews and stuff is part of our appointed engineering.
Course account, right?
The city,
That
yeah.
Okay.
So that's reduced rate. We do the plan reviews and then we do the periodic inspections for the public utilities.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right?
Other than some project examples, is if there's any other questions that come up on this.
We'll let you know.
Don't be afraid to reach
Yeah.
out. Thank you.
Yeah, this is a good start though, Justin. I'm glad we needed to get pushed down this road, so, yep. All right, anything else?
I have nothing else unless you guys have additional questions for myself.
Man, Michael goes on and on and on.
Try to keep it efficient.
Don't tell me, so.
The cameras are all running. I'm sure he'll watch the meeting.
Taking notes back.
All right. Thanks, Larry. All right. Public Works Superintendent Craig Wagner.
Slipped it in there.
30, slipped in at 30.
So streets, I know Justin said that I had something to report about the Fighter Avenue, but that's coming up later, so we'll just talk about it then. I don't have any report. Water and that, the big thing is the lead and service stuff, that has all been completed. Now it'll be next year, this time we'll have to send another letter out to all the homeowners, and meantime, we have 10 years to come up with a game plan to get it all finalized, so. I did find out after we sent the letters that there was one house or one business that had a lead service line that they had replaced, and we didn't know about it, so we got that one checked off the list, so we're down to 10.
Okay.
Otherwise, the rest of the stuff, I'm just gonna skip down to the parks. The concrete for the pickleball court has been done. We're got the dirt work done around the bike, or the walk path part of it, the sidewalk. The dirt or the gravel around the pad will get finished up, and that'll be opened up to be parked on after Thursday, so. That's all. We'll have that project wrapped up by this week, probably, if everything goes good. Sports complex, concession building's coming along good. We've got the soffit on the west side to finish, which we'll do first thing tomorrow. And then, we're gonna start working on putting a tin on the, or steel on the gable ends. Electrician's supposed to be there Friday to get their drops in, so we can start putting the ceiling in on the underskirts, that stuff. We should be wrapping up pretty fast with it, so get
Would you
things.
believe it?
You will be. I've been hounding him every single day.
Believe it?
So I'm pushing on him pretty hard, so. Same with the plumbing part of it, we're gonna get the materials picked up for that and move ahead with that, so.
Sounds good.
Otherwise, the doors have been painted, we're working on getting jams sealed up, and we'll hopefully have those painted. Tomorrow, we'll get a couple of them painted, so we can start hanging doors and keeping things locked up out there and get things put away.
Awesome.
That's all I got in my report, so.
I wanna circle back to your pictures you put in there of the manhole. Is there, do we know if there's any cameras in that area?
I don't think there is.
So did you know about this, Deputy? Okay, maybe Craig can show you the
Yeah.
pictures. There's a manhole down by the school, and we're assuming it was vandalism, because they threw a bunch of rocks and cones and everything else down in the manhole and
All of that was in there?
in the manhole.
I bet that made a great noise when you throw a rock.
And you said the rocks were really, this had to have been some fairly good sized kids. Little kids couldn't have done
They were
this.
5-gallon bucket rocks, man, they were heavy.
How'd you
So
get
when I
that?
look at that, I wonder, is there anybody in school that they call Mongo?
Yeah,
It's like rock.
like I said, I think it was just something that
That path,
a couple kids maybe half a dozen thought, hey, this is kinda cool, and
Yeah,
so that manhole, we are gonna dig that up yet, and we're gonna put bolt,
but a bolt one,
the
yeah.
casting down, then we'll have bolt on lid, so that'll all get changed here yet, here this next few
Yeah.
weeks, so.
Have they been there for a while?
Don't know for sure. Just, George called me that Tuesday morning and said he started getting some backup in his concession building. We went and popped manholes and that's what we came up with. So we don't know if they just got thrown in there last, week before, or if they've been in there for a couple weeks, or, but there was a lot of them. It should have plugged up pretty quick if they were in there for quite a while, so.
So it had to have happened fairly recently.
I think fairly recently, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the rocks will discolor fast in the sewer. I mean, they
Yeah.
don't.
Where did these rocks come from?
So the school had that walk path that went from that safe routes bike path, the 10-foot one along to the west side. They have a path that goes to the school that goes through the middle of the parking lot. They had that little bridge in there for that drainage, and these were all riprap around that. And I think the cones were some of the soccer stuff that they'd set out for gym when they were outside, because this is where they play at in this area.
Oh, the cones were in there too.
Yep, cones were in there.
I just figured those were in the back of the
No, no.
pages before you.
No,
That's what I thought
they
too.
were. It was fun digging that stuff out of there. We tried to get as much out from above. We finally had to get the fan going, get the air monitor down there, ladder down there, sent the guy down there with a 5-gallon bucket and one rock at a time. Figured them out of
We
there.
have had some pretty epic rainfalls this year.
What's that?
We did have a couple epic rainfalls this year. I mean, just coming back from Moab, there's a lot of big rocks that water moved out there. I mean, maybe it wasn't Monroe.
Well, somehow to lift the cover, throw the rocks and cones in there and
And
the
put the cover
go
back on. That's a pretty smart rain.
Mother Nature is crafty. She's crafty.
Well,
There is.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a little-
it's probably good we should be thankful we don't have many of those type of occurrences. So,
This is the first time in 31 years I see this.
yeah. All right,
Put it in your memoirs.
there you go. All right, anything else, Greg?
Nope, that's it.
All
Let's
right,
get something else.
Karen, you got anything?
No, my report's in the packet. Hopefully you all got your deposits into your account
It's today, wasn't it?
Was it yesterday?
Monday.
Monday, yesterday.
I think somebody got some of mine. It's really,
You gotta quit taking all these days off.
Say,
I had personal problems. Come on, give me a break. Not me personally, but all right. Thank you, Karen. Thanks for paying us, Bill. That's
oh,
good.
you're welcome.
All right, city administrator's report. Teresa, what do you got for us?
Okay, they kind of did the project update. They do want to circle back on the wastewater treatment facility. So with this $2+ million payout check that we're gonna write, that's gonna bring us down to basically towards the end of our first SRF loan. We got only about 36,000 left. So with the next payout, we will not have any of that funding left, which means we have a second SRF loan that was approved by the state, but that means our second surcharge. The mayor and I talked, he's indicated he would like to wait till after the first year if possible, and we can do that. We can pass the resolution. I got everything in the works to be ready to move ahead with that loan, and the only thing we need to do is basically pass that resolution for the surcharge. So we can hold up. We do have funds in reserves that we could probably float for a month or two, if you guys want to do that, but I just want you guys to start thinking about that. By the time the next payout comes, we're down to, like I said, the end of our first loan, and we knew we had to take out the second loan, which we've taken out. We just gotta pass that surcharge resolution.
Have we ran the numbers on the second one yet to know
I
what
have
it's gonna
not.
be?
When we applied for it, we figured it about $23, something like that, $23.40. It does go off of the number of customers, and, we figured that back, last spring. Hopefully we have a few more customers that might bring it down a little bit, but it's gonna be close to that same amount, it's not gonna be a large difference. And we're not gonna run those numbers, definitely, because when we actually pass the resolution, we will run those numbers and find out what our exact surcharge is. But, just want you guys to be thinking about that.
Right.
Are you guys in agreement? And we can pass the surcharge and have it effective till January
What's
bill or
the-
February bill, or,
What would be the thinking, just What would be the thinking, and this is for the mayor, and
Yep.
because you guys have, so we're, the citizens have already been made aware, right, that we have to do a second surcharge. I get a little bit hesitant pulling out of the reserve. What's the thinking with holding it off for another month and a half? I mean, what's the, to me, it seems like, I get a little bit freaky if I have to use some money out of my own savings, right? That's kind of what we're doing.
Yeah, that's exactly.
You know what I
we're
mean? So like
doing.
trying to apply that principle to it, so like,
Right.
I know you and I had a short discussion,
Yeah.
so what's kind of your thought process on,
I would just like to stretch it as far as we possibly can in between.
that's stretching it.
In putting those two in place. I was hoping it wouldn't happen this quickly. I was hoping that we'd be able to just kind of coast it next year and kick it into effect in January.
You know,
Because when we initiate that second surcharge, you guys all know, you look at your water bills, if you do, that's gonna put us just a skosh under $50 a month.
Between the two
For a
surcharges,
surcharge.
it's right under
And,
$50, yeah.
I did talk, Justin and I talked a little bit, I know that we're not anywhere near what some of our neighboring cities are, but for the Hartford residents, this is something new. We had never
Yes,
done
we
this
have never
before.
had a surcharge until this
So-
project.
I'm trying to be as,
We just don't want it to hit.
you're kind of peeling that Band-Aid off slow, I mean, right, I mean,
yeah, I mean,
And true, the holidays.
I don't have any other, go ahead, Craig.
So this is more of a question for Justin. Do we have any idea what the next two
Well, that's
pay-apps are
what
gonna be?
I was
Yeah.
just gonna say, I mean,
Because they've got a lot of
holidays are
stuff
coming
there.
up, there's about $5 million of work. I would expect we had some of those payouts around $500,000, $600,000 there for a short stint of time. I would expect our November, December will be smaller ones, right? So we look at the projection of the project from now to October. We have all the gravity main, all that stuff in, that was a good bulk of cost.
I wonder if with this analysis, just so we know, if maybe it wouldn't be safe to have a conversation with Rice Lake and just say, hey, we're trying to plan for how we're gonna do this.
We talk
What do
about
you
next week.
what do you
What are your
anticipate?
forecasts?
Let's find that out.
yeah,
I mean, we can always, the second meeting here, and
yeah.
if we have to, we can advise Teresa in the second meeting too. I mean, it's not, I'm not trying to play games, I'm just trying my best to stretch the time period between the two.
Well, from what
As
you're,
much as I
you're
can.
you're forecasting, right? Like, what can we anticipate?
Right.
Those contractors had a good
From
year,
when
they may not invoice.
Pass the surcharge, when would
Yeah,
that show
sure.
up on a bill?
So, like I said, we could have it, usually when you pass a resolution, which this will be another resolution, we gotta publicize it and it'd be 20 days. So usually within 30 days. Like I said, I did have the conversation with Sophie at Seacog. We could put an effective date on it. So if we wanna make it effective, the January billing,
January.
Well-
we can put that into the resolution.
So
That
we're-
math is a non-issue, because our next payout's gonna be in December, we approve it then, the earliest the surcharge can go on is January, so.
I mean, we're probably at that
We're,
point.
okay, we're probably
Let's-
at that point
let's-
regardless.
Let's find out some information, and if we need to, we'll put it on the second meeting and we'll get the ball rolling.
Yep.
It's me asking the question, Sean, so
Yeah,
I'm the one
Yeah,
that's.
and we just wanna make you know that we do need to implement this. Another thing, just to start thinking about, do you want City Hall to be sending out something as far as an explanation of this prior?
I would say we probably better, because
I
I'd
think
rather do it
To every
now.
house, and I think that would be the conscientious thing to do,
Yeah.
just so.
And I think putting context in there of like, hey, like a
Like
little
the
bit,
project, yes.
yeah, this was voted on,
Yep,
whatever,
Yeah.
yeah.
The project, what it is, what the cost is, why we have the two.
Because people are gonna
Yeah.
complain, which is fine, right?
Oh, and they're gonna complain
But
regardless,
it's
we're
good
gonna
to
get phone
at least-
calls, but,
Yeah, over communication is better.
yep, I believe too.
All right, is that fair with everybody?
Yeah, we'll talk about the next meeting,
All right.
okay. Okay, so, a couple other things I just wanna run by you as well. The AV upgrades, I had a little bit of training last week on it. They're supposed to come back again today to kind of finish up. They had something come up, so they couldn't. Next Tuesday, they're gonna be back here to help finish out the training. So I'm hoping by our next meeting, we'll have them up and going, and you'll be able to see agendas and probably our packet on there. Some questions that came about. with the new system, we can record to YouTube just like we're doing now. We're putting our recordings through YouTube and have a link on there. We can also live stream though. My question for council, a decision for you. Do you want to live stream the meetings? And if so, do we want to keep it just to city council meetings, or do we want to also include P and Z meetings and the Park Rec, any city meeting? So want to have that discussion a little bit.
I would say, because like if there was a time where we're in executive and a mistake happened, right? That would be like my only reason to not live stream it.
Yeah, and we talked about
That-
how there's a kill button to when we go in and out of executive to
Okay.
stop the streaming. Yeah,
Well, I'll be curious to hear other people's opinions.
yeah, so.
I think it'd be good to live stream it personally, just,
Yeah.
less work we have to do later for uploading it, and people can watch it. Like,
We'll still upload, right?
I say
You
the
think?
live streaming wouldn't have anything to do with the recording, and actually with the recording through this system, it's actually gonna be simpler than that camera, cause this camera has little clips that we gotta use a movie program to put them all together, and Jenny's gotta, put it where to start and stop and put it into one format and then put it to YouTube. This will go directly to YouTube, and we just have to have that link on our website, so.
I'm not opposed to live streaming either.
I'm not,
I
yeah.
think that we should wait till we're really good at running it.
That would be perfectly good, cause I'm not really good at
Yeah,
it.
that might be a January of 2025 kickoff. Yeah,
for a while.
Tested a couple times without,
Yeah.
or a few times.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you think our attendance is low now, wait till we start live streaming.
City
So,
staff.
that's true. Something to think about
Do what
too.
live streaming has done to church attendance.
Mhm.
That's true.
Good point. All right,
So just keep that in mind, and maybe in about a month or two, we'll kind
Yeah.
of bring it up
well,
again,
look,
so.
yeah,
We'll bring it
Next
up.
year, let's talk.
we can look for
Next year.
January
Okay.
2025.
Video.
We're gonna start live streaming, just kind of throw that in with the surcharge,
Yeah, the pamphlet we put out there. Just other couple of quick little updates. Our health insurance is gonna be, for like the city employees, the city's health insurance is gonna be changing. They no longer offer the plan that we currently have. We have basically opted to go to the next closest plan. Biggest change is our current plan only has a 500 deductible for our employees, which was really great, but now they've done away with that and it's 1,000. So that is a change. There's a little change in some of the co-pays too, those aren't as great, and obviously there's a price increase, but there's a price increase every year, and that's usually figured, I always bump up the budget, cause I always know there's gonna be a price increase, so. We did have a staff meeting, we go, and so staff has been made aware of the changes that are coming about on January 1st, but wanted to let you guys know that. Another thing I found out after our last meeting or between there, our TAP grant we applied for, I got a call from, Logan Graham with the state who runs is on the committee for the TAP grant. Previously, the grants, we had said they max out at 600,000, doing 80-20, and the max you can apply for is 600,000. We knew that going in, so we thought our share of the trail would be about 150,000 if it was granted to us. He called and says they removed the max for this year, so asked if we wanted to apply the rest of the funds. I went, well, yeah, we want to get as much 80-20 as we can. So if we were granted that, he let us resubmit a new budget to him, basically bring down our cost only about 135,000. November 13th, next week, the grant committee is gonna be reviewing those grants, so, we should know shortly after that whether we receive it or not, so, intends for that. And then just, wanted to let you know, the part-time snow removal help, we are still advertising, we did get 3 applicants. None of them have CDL experience, so they can't drive a lot of our equipment or whatnot, so we're just gonna keep it open for a little bit longer, see if we can get any additional applicants with it. A little update with the Park and Rec Board, we talked about the concession stand and how it's going to be run in the future of our different options. Their discussion at the last meeting they had was that we would probably bid out the operations of it or take proposals for it, so I am trying to get some information from some other cities right now that have done this, trying to see what the process is and how their RFPs looked and that, so we can move forward with that next year. Obviously, if we're gonna put out a bid or an RFP, that'll be come before you guys to review and to approve before we actually move forward with it, so. like I said, a couple of the other options discussed were, you know, city run it, well, we really don't have the personnel to do that. Or, the associations run it, and we haven't gotten very good feedback of any of them wanting to do that, so.
Except for tournaments?
Except for tournaments, yes. The softball association, they don't wanna run it full-time, but they wanna do it at tournaments, which, well, yeah, of course they would, that would be the most money. And I think if you go down that route, I think you would shy away anybody else from putting in bids, so. Like I said, I'm gonna try and gather some more information how other cities do that, and we'll kind of discuss it more as I get some more information for you. Last thing, just want your input on Sioux Falls landfill passes. They've, basically, the last couple of years have let us, given a free dump to every resident within Hartford to the Sioux Falls landfill. Do we want to apply for that again? It's an application process that the city's got to apply and ask them to grant those passes to us. Are we good with that?
Yeah.
I'll send them
There's
the
no
application.
cost to it to the city.
Nope, absolutely no
Yeah.
cost to the city. And they used to be where they'd max them out at 500 and they have to come in and physically get a pass from us.
Yeah.
They went to an electronic system that basically our residents just have to show up with a driver's license, prove they're from Hartford, give them their address, and they get a dump. So anybody gets one free dump, and we don't have to do anything in here, so it's a very simplified
Do
process.
they ever provide a report on how many people utilize that?
They used to, we kept track of them when we were taking them out, but they haven't provided that. And I can see if I can get that, if they know, if they,
I don't know if it's something, yeah, I mean, it feels like we do a good job of, promoting it.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting to see, kind of, where
I know the
we're at.
prior years posted around 300. We never used the 500. I want to say 350 is kind of where we are now. Whether that's increased the last couple of years, I don't know. But I can see if they got that information.
I use it every year.
Yep, I do the same here.
So, yeah, if you go back to, you know, prior to this, the HADF did a trash day, so to speak,
Yeah.
or,
City cleanup day.
right,
Cleanup
cleanup
day.
day.
Those last few
They
years,
loved
because
that. It
there's.
was no fun for the city employees, but it was a great deal.
It kind of ended because they were supposed to volunteer and do that. Well, they never got any volunteers, so it was mostly city staff out there doing it. And then the regulations with dumping, so like you got your hazardous materials, your electronics, we had to separate that, and we had to dump paint. So it was about, I think, about 15,000 the last time one was held, just cost, just to be able to dump at the different spots. So it was costly and not real effective for us, so.
Right.
So, okay, I will apply for that. That's all I have unless you have questions.
All right, any questions for Teresa?
Yeah, I have one. Could we get an idea, could we get an idea of what it costs to run the, three-acre grass dump this year? And you can provide that.
Yep,
I
at
do,
the end of
after
the
the
season,
dump
yep.
closes,
So
I'll
that they- in
compile all that
December.
information, and
Yeah.
it'll be in the box for
Yeah,
you.
perfect, thank you.
Yep, cause same thing with the pool and that, so that information, so as soon as we get it closed this
Thank you.
month.
Just a little FYI, nobody told Jerry that the kids were gonna rake all the yards and fill up all the dumpsters. So when we were down there Saturday morning, it was overflowing. I mean, it was everywhere.
That was my
Oh,
fault.
man.
Yeah.
I forgot to get a hold of Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry said, yeah, I come in and all the dumpsters are full, and I'm wondering, what the heck?
Yeah, 6 dumpsters and on the ground, and just
Yeah.
piles,
You
yeah.
didn't immediately call the police, cause he's ruthless on that.
Oh, I tell you what.
He
Yeah,
questioned
he
me.
serious about
he
his
sent me a
job.
text about it, and I forgot all about it.
Yeah.
I was coming to tell him about it.
Yeah, he made sure he told me about it, yeah. All right. Thanks, Teresa.
Yep.
All right, we have no old business, we're gonna move to new business. First one is review approved grant award from Sioux Empire United Way for defibrillator for the sports complex.
And this came about through the Park and Rec Board as well. Originally, it was the softball association came to the Park and Rec Board and, basically asked if they could get an AED out at the Johnson Sports Complex, because there's none out there. We didn't have any place to put it before the concession stand, but now we will have. So, there was a couple of different grants out there. One was a Sanford grant, one was a Poet grant. We didn't get those grants, but Sanford came back and said, we don't award for AEDs because we partner with Sioux Empire United Way. where they do a 50/50 grant on AEDs and where they'll pay 50%, which is 900, and the applicant, which would be the city, would have to pay 900. Sent that in, I heard back like less than a week, a little over a week later, and they approved that. So Park and Rec would like the city to move forward with accepting this grant.
I would like to add a little provision to that. I would like to go back to the Park and Rec Board and see if they couldn't reach out to the associations and see if anybody would like to partner and sponsor the other portion of that.
And the 900 portion.
Yeah,
I could take it to their next meeting.
I mean, I want to approve it and I'd say, yes, we're gonna do it, but I would like to have the Park and Rec Board, if possible, at least ask the question of the associations.
What do you think, Ryan?
I think we could get it. Yeah.
I mean, I think if you ask all three of them, I think there's a good chance we would get.
Yeah, and if not necessarily from them, I think we could get
Especially
it
since it
elsewhere.
originated with softball.
Yeah.
That's who came?
Correct.
Yeah.
I think that would be a great ask.
Yep.
So, all right, so we need a motion to approve this,
Yes, they will sign the paper.
all right?
Motion to approve grant award from Sioux Empire United Way for.
Second.
2 seconds again. Any discussion? And can you make sure Teresa or Ryan, one of you know that the Park and Rec Board did?
Yep, we'll have on the agenda form.
All right. No discussion, we'll vote. Jazz?
Yes.
Keel?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Bowen?
Yep.
Mattson?
Yes.
All right, next up, we're,
Teresa, you had said that there was no place to put an AED, and I just, wanna say that, there are standalone AED,
Yeah.
what would you call it?
pedestal, or, yeah.
Pedestal, so, that, if in the event that, you know, they say we need another one closer to the soccer fields or something like that, there are options out there.
Yeah, this is just a case, not a waterproof case, it's just a case, and
Right,
AED, you know, regular one.
If,
This-
yeah, so those standalone ones, if the door gets opened, the
Yeah.
alarm goes off.
Yeah,
And depending on the type of system, you can't just shut the door and it'll go off, it'll keep going,
yeah,
letting you know that that's been opened and tampered with.
sure.
So I've heard about in campgrounds where they blare all night long because nobody shut them down.
Yeah,
So, I mean, that's kind of, you hate to see somebody vandalize it, but look at the manhole, it happens.
Yeah, exactly, sure does, yeah.
So that's the only bad thing about, ones like that.
Oh, yeah, I'm not promoting, I'm not saying we need to put one somewhere,
Yeah.
but they do make them, and
Yep.
they do come with,
Yeah.
those other negatives, I guess, but you save one life.
that's right.
Absolutely.
All right, and what made me think about having, see if we could reach out to some of these organizations, one we have, the pool was paid for by a private citizen who felt passion to do that, so, all right. Next up, we're gonna move to the 12th and Oaks project. We have two
Yeah.
topics. First one is review, approve, pay application.
Oh,
You did both.
Oh, yeah, we did.
No, we had a
We
first and a
just
second.
started talking about
Oh, I thought we voted.
We voted.
I thought we did vote.
You're gonna move on to.
Oh, you know, we did, I started.
We did, yeah. we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, I started with Jake.
Okay.
We did vote.
You're right.
I have all yes.
I
Now you got me questioning.
Back me up there 30.
Yeah, you did.
go,
You did.
I might be an old guy, but I think we voted.
was
You were gonna move on to something, I said, hey, wait a minute, did you make that?
Let's watch the replay.
I was just seeing if you roll that back.
Yeah, just test.
30 under 30 is my, kind of my watchdog. He keeps track of that stuff for me. All right. Okay, we good?
We're good.
Okay.
Sorry.
First up, we have to review, approve, pay app 5 for Alliance Construction for $336,921.17.
Motion to approve pay request number 5 to Alliance Construction for $336,921.17.
Second.
Any discussion? Did we meet our deadline? Is that part of this question? Probably not
This
this
is-
question.
This is for work they did their 31st, but no, they didn't,
Okay.
they worked past this.
Okay, I'm just asking a question. All right, no discussion? We'll vote. Mattson?
Yes.
Bowen?
Yeah.
Horn?
Yes.
Keel?
Yes.
Jazz?
Yes.
All right, the next topic is, hold on. We're gonna review, approve a change order number 4 for Alliance Construction for $7,132, wait, it's six, oh, I didn't print off a new agenda.
7,130.
$132.50, I'm sorry, I had an old agenda, so the new agenda must be right?
Oh.
This one.
Which one's
That's a
right?
typo, I got at the very end of Friday, she updated the change order, and originally, that was the original amount. It got updated, and I didn't change the agenda amount, but I put the new one in
So
there.
I wasn't-
God, this is 3 today, oh my gosh, I'm out.
Boy.
3 and I'm out.
I'm gonna have to start this scorecard again.
So what's the amount?
So the amount, yeah, 7,000.
$7,132.50 is the
Yeah,
correct
the
amount.
original sent to me from IDG was at 6,000. It got updated on Friday right before I put the packet out, and I didn't change it on the agenda.
Okay, this is due to the fact these 2 approaches were in the plans, were not in the bid package, did not get bid,
Correct,
correct?
yes.
One of them did get poured, one of them did not, because Craig went to tell them to not pour it, and one got poured, one did not. So to pay these 2 approaches, Alliance has given us a price of $7,132. We have found that this can be applied toward our grant. So 90% of that could be paid by the grant, 10% would be at city expense, which would be $713.25. Correct?
Yep,
How'd I do?
yep, you got that all correct there, so.
So it was in the bid package.
You know, in the plans.
Plans.
It was not in the bid package, is what I understand. Is that, and you're the expert, right?
Yes, that's correct.
That's what I understood is the deal, so.
Can I ask a question? I just wanna
Yep,
understand this.
no,
So,
that's fine.
and I don't understand construction, so it was in the engineering plans to bid, and it wasn't bid.
It was in
Am I
it was in the-
understanding? I'm
It
just
was
trying
in
to
the
understand
plans
what's
for
going
the
on
scope of
here.
the project, but then each part of it will have an individual bid part of it,
Yep,
and did not get put in that bid part of it that got sent out to the bidders.
okay, so none of the bidders
None of them.
essentially bid on it?
No, none of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
So we just did request a bid basically on it.
Pretty much it
Is
would
that-
just be,
It was left off the list or something.
yeah,
So,
it didn't get put in the list.
Who is that on? Is that on Alliance? Is that on IDG? Is that on ISG? Is that something we
Well,
should have
it's not
caught?
Alliance, because none of the bidders would have had this in the bid.
So it's not on Alliance, so
we
it's
got
on
that one knocked
is it on IDG? Is it on ISG? Should-
Well, IDG put together the bid package. for
Okay.
it.
And our engineers look over the design, so they would have looked at that, but not at the bid package part of it.
Okay,
So on the sheet where it says there's, 12,000 linear feet of curb and gutter, there's X, there's Y, there's 2 of these.
2 approaches.
2 approaches, that part got overlooked. Some intern somewhere missed that part.
he's not the intern, he's actually.
Yeah, he's full-time.
Is that basically?
I don't know that it was an intern, but very good sound.
Motion to approve cost of repair. Oh, geez, where am I? Holy smokes. I went got down here.
I can take over.
Motion to approve change order number 4 to Alliance Construction for $7,132.50. We got to the next
You gotta get up to get down.
bid item.
I'll second that, Ryan.
All right.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Jazz?
Yes.
Keel?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Bowen?
yes.
Mattson?
Yes.
All right. I know you poured one. What's the thoughts on the other one?
As soon as we give them the go-ahead, they'll get it done.
Okay. And how are they coming?
They finished paving today, so there's just a little bit of punch list work yet to do. We've got our final walkthrough scheduled for Thursday.
Okay. And our deadline was
The 31st.
The 31st.
Is it 31st?
No, we gave them till the
31st.
They asked for the
Deadline
10th
was
to the
the
20th, but
14th.
they gave them till the 31st.
Okay. And we'll have that discussion at some point, right?
Yeah, and
There-
Astor is counting days for
Yes,
liquidated damages.
I was I have every intention of assessing liquidated damages on the next pay app.
Okay.
How that comes out is yet to be seen, but.
Okay, okay, good, thank you, appreciate that. All right, thanks, Astrid.
Thank you.
You bet. Discuss approved cost for repairs to Fighter Avenue. This is the one that,
We're gonna kick this down to Teresa now.
So what it is we started dealing with the school this spring, even last fall, about the patchworks, that stuff on the street out there on Fighter, along with the patching on First Street. When I met out with, it was Clint Simmons, but at the time with Gil Haugen, we met out there this summer, and I told him, I said, you guys have wrecked the street from here to here, this is where you've been driving your equipment out, approach and that stuff, so we're kind of basically told them that you guys are responsible for fixing all this here. Well, they got some pictures from 2016 and showed us that some of the street was busted up prior to the construction starting. So I went and met with them, and we came up with an agreement that they're gonna take care of everything that they need to replace along both roads where they've cut. This broke up area that was back basically in the GIS system from 2016, we looked it over, we both all agreed, parties that were there, that this did get, majority of it got busted up during construction. The stuff in more on the center of the street was elongated before. Was it because of construction? Possibly, majority of it could have been dump truck, or not dump trucks, but garbage trucks and stuff like that, school buses going down and busting up. So we measured it up, figured out what needed to be replaced, because we can't just have them replace that 4 foot, the rest of it's gonna bust up, and it'll be nothing but a pothole, it'll be busted up all year. So to do it right, it needs to be cut over about 9 feet actually from where that concrete gutter's in there. Foot of it, they already know they're replacing, so we decided on the 4 foot, or we discussed the 4 foot, I didn't tell them yes or no. And then 45 or 44 feet long that needs to be cut out of there and replaced. I told them to give us a number, I'd run it through the council to see what the council felt, if we're okay with that, or if we want to fight it more and see if they'll pay for the whole thing. I think they have a pretty good leg to stand on with the pictures I seen from 2016. I was pretty impressed with that.
So they're fixing more than just this area?
Yeah, they've got a lot of other stuff, that original patch, they're doing that. That whole side of the street where they cut all that out, they're fixing all that. The only spot that we could agree on to help with or pay for a portion of it is just that bit right in front to where the old approach was at.
Seems like a fair
Yep.
compromise.
And you think that, I mean.
You all right with that, Craig?
Yeah, I think it's fair compromise with it, so.
I
If
think,
not, I would've been arguing with you yet, so.
Okay, good.
I think it's a fair number too, right?
Yeah, I think the number's pretty
I
decent.
don't think it's, yeah.
Motion to approve payment for 50% of the proposed submitted price by Seal Pros for the asphalt repair on Fighter.
Second?
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Mattson?
Yes.
Bowen?
No.
Horn?
Yes.
Keel?
Yes.
Jazz?
Yes.
All right? I know we're going into executive session for economic development and personnel.
And legal,
Huh?
and legal.
And legal. We better, oh yeah, since our legal guy's here, we better say legal.
I'll make a motion to go to executive session for personnel, economic development, and legal.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any motions from the council?
I make a motion to terminate Amy Farr as economic development director.
Second?
Any discussion?
Immediately.
Immediately.
Any discussion? We'll vote. Mattson?
Yes.
Bowen?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Keel?
Yes.
Jazz?
Yes.
Any other motions?
I would make a motion with that we should review those job descriptions and get ready to
repost that position.
Second?
Any discussion?
We could have that available to us at our next meeting, Teresa?
Yep.
Okay.
Anything else? We'll vote. Jazz?
Yes.
Keel?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Bowen?
Yes.
Mattson?
Yes.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.